Hi everybody, Paul Cameron here with speedupmyjobsearch.com, and this is day 12 of my 31 days of search efficiency. And today I'm going to give you a great way to respond to rejection letters, and then I'm going to show you how to create that response very efficiently. Okay, and we'll start by acknowledging the fact I know thinking about getting rejection letters is not top of everybody's priority list here, right? It's not our favorite subject to think about. So I'll start with the fact that bad hires happen all the time, right? I mean, even when a company hires an outside expert, sometimes the outside experts aren't going to get it right, despite how many personality tests they've done and psychological tests and all the other things that are going on. Sometimes it doesn't work out. And then you couple that with the fact that there are a lot more companies out there who refuse to engage with outside expertise, who have already made some hiring mistakes. They already know where the pitfalls are so they can prevent a lot of bad hires. There's a lot of companies out there that refuse to get the expertise they need, or just as bad, they'll say, hey, we'll hire a recruiter, but we're only going to hire them if they are willing to deal with a 10% fee or a 15% fee, or whoever's the lowest wins. And just like with any industry, if you can't compete on quality, what do you compete on, right? Price. And so there are bad hires going on a lot, and that's important to really understand, because for you to say, hey, I got rejected, I didn't get this job, so that must mean I did something wrong, right? Which is what a lot of people do. It must be something I could have done better, which maybe it well could have been. But that assumption also assumes that companies are making perfect hiring decisions every time, right? And that's just not a fact. So sometimes the company needed to do something to improve their process so that they could have hired the best person. All right, so then that leaves you still sitting there with a rejection letter in your hand, and how you respond to that is really going to matter. Okay, and I know that there's a lot of people out there that I posted a meme a couple of times now that I said, hey, if you get rejected, react with class. And that one got more arguments than any of my other ones out there combined. It was amazing. So I know there's a lot of people who feel like it is well within your right to tell that company off and really give them a piece of your mind. And that's fine. You do what you got to do. But here's what I would recommend for the rest of you. And I'm going to show you in here, in my phase 4 of this program, how to put this message together. So phase 4 is all about interviewing. It's the jobs that are in play. And in here I've got a module on rejection letter responses. All right, and there's 3 main keys that I go over right here on the page. One being, number one, being grateful for the fact they even told you something, anything, that they got back to you with some feedback. A lot of companies don't. They just disappear, right? And make sure that they know you're disappointed, but you're grateful that they responded. Make sure you show sincere interest in the company still, and a genuine hope and concern that they find the right person, right? That kind of feel to your letter, to your response, needs to come across. Okay, and now from here, it depends on what you want to accomplish. Okay, so if you would like to have been the right person for that job, and if it didn't work out with that other person, and you would want that job still, let's let them know. Okay, or if you don't want to work there, let's try to get a referral. Okay, now for members of Speed Up My Job Search, and I'm going to show you the letter here, so if you're not a member, you can at least see this first letter and how this works. But members of speedupmyjobsearch.com can get this letter written for them in seconds. Okay, so we're just going to fill in this very, very quick form. So we put in our name and the phone number. I'm going to say the name's Joe at IBM, the data architect. Okay. Now, a couple other really easy questions here. Did they say that they're moving forward with someone else, meaning singular, we selected one other person, or with other candidates, plural, or maybe they didn't say. All right, you pick one of these, and that's going to make sense in the letter. I'm going to pick someone. All right. Did they say that they would keep you in mind for other roles, right? Did they say, hey, please keep checking our job board and keep us in mind for other roles, meaning they liked your information, just wasn't the right fit this particular time. If they said that they would like you to continue to look at the board, click yes here. And then I've got a few different options, and I've got more than I'm going to be adding here, but let's just go with you're still interested to start. Now, this letter, rejection letter, filled in for you, right? It wrote itself right on the page. So I'm just going to read this off. I'm going to go off of this screen here because it's closer to me. So hi, Joe, which is the name we put in up top. Thank you for your note to let me know. While I am very sorry to hear that news, I'm glad to hear you found someone, which again, that came from picking this someone. If I had picked a few people, it would have put in, you found a few people, if they're moving forward with a few candidates, with the right capacity to serve and fulfill the needs of that role for you. Through this process, I learned a lot about IBM, company name you put in at the top in that form, and was genuinely excited about the potential of joining the organization. I appreciate your willingness to consider me for other jobs in the future, and please feel welcome to call me about any new roles opening soon, right? Sometimes they're going to know before they even post it, and you're planting that idea, that seed in their mind to call you, and then you're even putting on there, I will respond quickly. And as a recruiter, I need to get somebody quickly for a job. If I'm thinking of you and I know you're going to respond quickly and you're open to it because we've already met you, you're less of a perceived risk, I'm calling you first. All right, now if they didn't say, please stay in contact with us and keep an eye out on our job board for other things, you just put no, and then this changes here to a different message. But then this final one, if for any reason it does not work out with your first choice for the data architect position, I would welcome the chance to prepare an interview again to join your team, right? To say, hey, I'm not expecting to just get the job. I'll interview again, and I will thoroughly prepare to come in and meet with you. All right, that really speaks volumes about you as a potential candidate. Now, if you didn't want to pursue this company anymore, what if you wanted to just get some feedback from them to see if it was you or what the situation was, right? What if they tell you that, well, we needed somebody who loves to do, public speaking while juggling, or, something that has nothing to do with data architecture. That might be a bad hire, right? Or we needed somebody with a specific skill set. We need somebody with Azure and you've got AWS. Sorry, this isn't a fit. Whatever the case may be, right? Now, this one in the middle is going to be a little bit different. Through this process, learned a great deal about IBM, and I hope to find a data architect with a similar organization soon. To help prevent a similar outcome, can you share any feedback or advice about how I could have done better in my interviews with IBM or whatever the company is? I'm just choosing IBM because it's a 3-letter company name. It's shorter to write for these videos. All right. And, hey, I would sincerely appreciate any feedback you can provide. And if you know of other organizations similar to yours that I should look into, please let me know and I will reach out to them right away. All right. And that's a little bit different. Either way, both of these are responding and reacting to their rejection with class. All right. If you go tell them to jump in a lake, that other person doesn't work out. Guess who they're not calling when they need to fill it again, right? They're making a note. Recruiters are taking notes on all of those comments that you're making, and it affects whether you're going to get hired in the future or not. I can tell you with certainty that happens at a lot of places. So you want to think about how you react when you do get those letters. Hopefully you won't get many of them, but when you do, use it as an opportunity to build your network. So I hope this is helpful, and we'll see you tomorrow on day 13.